Hi everybody, today's chest and shoulders, and there's 3 sets of pop push-ups, walkie planks, and toe taps, 20 seconds on each one. And starting with pop push-ups off the bench, 20 seconds. And you want to, when you're doing these, you want to aim your chest to the edge of the bench, and you want to focus on keeping your elbows out and pushing from your chest, not your arms. So you really shouldn't feel shoulders and arms too much. You want to really focus on your chest. You should also feel your abs if you're keeping your body straight and not letting your bottom raise up when you push off the bench. You want to try to keep it in a plank position. Same with these here. These are the walkie planks, and you want to keep your body as straight as you can. That way it engages your core. And this gets a lot of things: chest, shoulders, arms, core, lungs. And right after those, we go right into toe taps. This is conditioning, agility and conditioning. And you want to make sure that you're touching the step too. You don't want to go over it. You really want to focus on trying to touch it and staying forward and moving into it, just kind of like the high toe taps on the last video. Same thing, this is just a little bit lower. Okay, second set, pop push-ups again, 20 seconds. And again, I have another video that talks about how to do these, and it shows it from a different angle. It shows from the side. When you're popping off the bench, you really don't want to lead with your butt. You want to keep your butt down, which makes you have to engage your core. So if your butt's coming up, you're really not engaging your core the best that you can, because your body should stay in a straight line. And same with these here. Again, walkie planks. You want to keep your butt down. If your butt's up in the air, you're not engaging your core like you should, so you really want to try to keep it down. And even if you can't do as many, I think you'll get a lot more out of it if you keep your butt down and keep your body in a plank position. And right into toe taps. And again, you don't want to go over the top of the step. You don't want to lean back. You want to stay forward, which engages your core. And you want to touch the step each time. And use your arms. You want to use your arms, kind of pump your arms with your legs. And the goal is to try to go as fast as you can. And this is third set. Pop push-ups again. And if you can't do the pop, just do regular push-ups. And if you can't bring your chest all the way down to the edge of the bench, just do them off the top. But the main thing is to keep your elbows out and really push from your chest and not your shoulders and your arms. And if you can't do those, you can just do push-ups off the floor from your knees. And here we go with the walkie planks again. And this is the one, this one bothers my elbow a little bit more than the patty cakes, because I'm actually stepping off to the side. But usually I can do them a little bit faster, but it's kind of, I have to be careful with feeling that elbow and not making it worse. And last set of toe taps here. And again, these were all 20 seconds. And the rest in between each group of 3 exercises was kind of until I caught my breath. So depending on what kind of shape you're in, here I'm going a little bit faster. Depending on what kind of shape you're in will determine your rest time, but you want to kind of catch your breath before you start the next one. Here we have two sets of this superset: high incline dumbbell press and bench hops. And with the incline dumbbell press, I like to do mine most of the time with the bench set up a little bit higher. It really gets the upper chest really good. And I have on this bench, it's 3 holes up. And here I used 10 pounds, which are actually like about 12.5 pounds. And I did 30 reps. And you want to make sure you keep your elbows out and really focus on your chest. Chest is one of the most common exercises that I see people do wrong, where they're really putting a lot of stress and strain on their shoulders and their arms. So it's one of the muscle groups that you have to really focus on using when you're doing the exercise. Chest and lats, more so than back. Chest and lats are really hard for people to learn how to feel in the beginning, so it takes a while sometimes to get that mind-muscle connection. So don't feel bad if you can't feel chest right away or lats right away. Lats is a really hard one. So that was first set, 12.5 pounds times 30 reps, going right into bench hops and 20 jumps. So each side, 1, 2, 3, those are, you're counting each side as a jump. And I hadn't done these in a while. I was surprised. These also work your lats. They get your shoulders really good and your arms a little bit and your lats and your core and your lungs. They get a little bit of everything, but I was surprised my lats got sore from doing those. But it makes sense because you're twisting back and forth. So after the bench hops, rest until you catch your breath. And here's the second set of the incline dumbbell presses, and again I did 30 reps here to 12.5 pounds, and I just did 2 sets of this superset. With chest, you want to focus on just pushing straight up, keeping your elbows out, and I like to keep my toes light, and that way it kind of engages your core. I think I talked about that on another video of mine too for chest. And right after those, I had to look at my chest for a second. Right after those, back into the bench hops again. And if you can't do these, if it bothers your knees or back or whatever, you can step over the bench. You can just step back and forth. Okay, so now we have 2 supersets, side dumbbell laterals and bench hops. And the side dumbbell laterals, I did 10 reps, just 10 regular reps. And these, you want to make sure you're pushing up and leading from your elbows and not your hands. Really focus on squeezing the dumbbells up from your shoulders. So I did a slight hold, and then I did 5 pulses right off the top. And right after those, I went right into 8 reps. Same thing, make sure you're pushing and leading with your elbows. I keep a slight bend in my elbow and think of my arm as being fused, and it's a lever. So I push it up from my elbow, but my hands follow. Here's the hold, and then 5 more pulses right off the top. And then right into 6 regular reps. And then the same thing. So it goes 10 reps, a hold, and 5 pulses. 8 reps, a hold, and 5 pulses, and then 6 reps, a hold, and 5 pulses. And I wrote these down as 5 pounds. They're really about 7.5 to 8 pounds. And I talked about that in one of my other videos too, that these weights here, they don't count the handle, and the handle's about 2 to 2.5 pounds or so. Maybe a little bit more as the weights go higher because the handle's longer. So I think I weighed the 5 pounds and they were about 7.5 pounds. Okay, and this is the second set. Same thing. I did the same thing with the 10 regular reps. And you want to kind of keep everything, how do I want to describe it? You want to, you're not gripping tight with your hands. Your hands are kind of loose. I mean, they're tight enough to hold the dumbbell, but you're not squeezing hard with your hands. A lot of times if you squeeze hard with your hands, it draws your focus out to your hands, and that's, to me, it's what I call lifting from the outside, because you start to squeeze harder with your hands and then you lift first from your hands instead of your shoulder. And you really want to think about getting inside your body and keeping your grip loose, and you want to forget about from your hand to your elbow basically, and you want to think of your hand just attaches the weight to the shoulder. So when you're squeezing up, you really want to think about squeezing your shoulder, flexing your shoulder on the way up, and that way you're doing it from the inside out. You kind of forget about the rest of your arm. And here we go into bench hops again. This is the second and last set of these. And again, if you can't jump like this, you don't have to do them continuously. You can do a jump and then another jump and just jump back and forth. Okay, wait, here we're going into 2 sets here. Dumbbell presses with the palms in and rear dumbbell raises. And again, with the bench hops, back to the bench hops, you can step over the bench if you want to, or you can even do toe taps instead. Do something, whatever it is that you can do that with whatever, with the side dumbbell laterals. Sorry, I got distracted there a little bit, because I'm wanting to talk about these here, the dumbbell presses with your palms in. And these are a little bit harder than dumbbell presses with your palms facing forward, regular dumbbell presses. These will hit your side delt a little bit more, and when you come down, you really want to try to get that stretch. So you want to sink your elbows down, and you should feel a stretch in the side of your shoulders. And you want to really keep the ends of the dumbbells facing the mirror the best that you can. So really keep those palms facing each other, keep your elbows out, and really get that stretch on the way down, because that stretch is important. And I like to come down and kind of stop for a second, like a slight pause, and then push up. That also makes it harder. And so those are supersetted with rear dumbbell raises. And these are 7.5 pounds. Again, I think I put them as 5, but these are 7.5 pounds. I did 25 reps on here. The seated dumbbell press, the first set I did 15 reps, and they were with 12.5 pounds. And the second set first set of the dumbbell presses I did 15 reps, second set I did 12 reps. And then these two, you want to focus on the back of your shoulder when you're doing them. Okay, missed that. So let's go back to the seated dumbbell press again, palms in. And these, I like to do them kind of more like this, a concentration. I don't really go too heavy on these. Maybe every once in a while I will, but I use them more as more of a concentration, where I'm doing them rep by rep. Like this, I focus on getting that stretch all the way down and just really pushing up. When you stop like that off the bottom and then push up, it's really all shoulders. You're not using any momentum. And this is how I do them most of the time. Sometimes I'll do them a little bit heavier, and I might do them standing to get a little bit of momentum. But I think it's good to change things up. And momentum is good sometimes. Sometimes you need momentum in order to lift heavier and stimulate the muscle. And I like to do a variety of rep ranges, and strict or maybe not as strict. I always start off with whatever exercise I'm doing. The set always starts off as strict as I can do it. But the heavier you get, the less strict it's going to be if you want to push the weight. And that was the last set. December 3rd, 2012, 106.2 pounds today, and did chest and shoulders and got a really good pump. So yay, all done. And if you guys like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends, and favorite it if you really liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not a subscriber. So talk to you guys later. Bye bye. Oh, that's my off arm.